Alex, you good? All right, we'll go ahead and get started. We'd like to welcome six-time PGA Tour winner Rickie Fowler to the interview room here at the Cognizant Classic in the Palm Beaches. Rickie, this is your 15th start where you won back in 2017. What's it like to be back?
Well, it's nice because I'm in my own bed and staying at home, so this is always a nice, easy week. I was able to play the course last week. We had an outing for our TGL team with Team New York, and so decided to stay and just play all 18, counted as my practice round. And like I said, easy being at home. Show up this morning and spent the last couple of days, prepping offsite or other obligations. And so, like I said, it's always nice being at home. I've always enjoyed this event. Great golf course. I've had success here, so it's all around great week.
And you're making your 350th PGA Tour start this week.
Yeah, I'm getting older.
Fifth start of the season. Can you just comment on where the state of your game heading into this week in the Florida swing?
Game-wise, definitely trending and heading the right direction. Obviously, last year was, back to playing some poor golf or not necessarily taking advantage of some opportunities. Played poorly on the weekends and not a great start this year, but I feel like I've seen a lot of good things, and I know that at least trending. So that's a positive. Definitely like being back here at a place that I've had success and and healthy as well. After dealing with a little layup, a few days off there in Phoenix and trying to get back into the swing of things at Torrey.
Awesome. With that, we'll open it up to questions. If you can just raise your hand, we'll get a microphone over to you. We'll start with Yanni. Lynn, Yanni, right in front of you, please. Thank you.
Rick, you said last week your Monday was Jack's Pro-Am at Bears Club into TGL into this week. Now that you're sort of gone through the chaos of the last few days, has it been a bit of a whirlwind, or for someone as busy of a schedule as you have, sort of took it in stride?
Yeah, in a way, kind of just normal or a little bit of a new normal, having, playing at night on a Monday. It was nice having last week off, but that flew by pretty quickly. Getting back and getting adjusted, I know it's only a 3-hour time change, but, having kids, it's not like they're sleeping in a whole lot, and getting our oldest back in school. And like I said, those, 6-7 days go by very quickly. And it's always nice to be home, be in our own bed, and being able to go out in the pool in the afternoon with the little one and do more family stuff versus, traveling on the road, hopping back and forth. So, great to be here. And like I said, was able to kind of knock off a day last week with having an outing with our team and getting to play out here. That made for what would have yesterday have been a little bit more work out here as well, but I was able to go and just go play medalist and have a nice casual day. Pro-Am moved probably the fastest I've seen a Pro-Am move in a long time, so that was a big bonus for a Wednesday and resting up for tomorrow morning.
Anything else, Yanni?
Quick follow, yeah. Your buddy Jordan Spieth's playing here for the first time. Are you? He said you were kind enough to offer your home to him if you wanted to stay there, and are you sort of laying out the hospitality for him, because he says he doesn't spend much time in South Florida, and the community here is excited to have him for the first time?
Yeah, we had a nice tent ready for him, but he would have been all right out back. Between myself and JT, I know offered up as well, and I think he decided to stay a bit closer, just that he was here on his own. Obviously, he wasn't necessarily planning to play this week, so I know they had plans at home, so kids and wife back there. But it's great to have him here. I feel like with how he plays and stuff, I feel like this golf course, obviously he's a great player. He can play well anywhere, but I think he'll find it a fun challenge. I know he's been here a while back, but definitely good to have him here. Hopefully we'll be able to get him over to the house a few times. Our oldest is 3 days younger than his oldest, Sammy, and they're very close, so she'd be excited to see Jordan.
We'll go to Brentley with Golf Channel next.
You mentioned earlier that you're getting old. I think at our age, your perspectives change and all that. I'm curious, do you spend more time in reflection now than you may have done 5-10 years ago? And if so, what moment or moments in your career do you kind of look back on most fondly?
Yeah, it is fun to look back because it doesn't feel like it's been that long, or 16 years on tour. Thinking back when unfortunately I got sick at WM Phoenix Open, but that was my 17th start there because they gave me a start as an AM. So I've played a lot of these places quite a few times. But yeah, it is fun to think back from first few years on tour to first win. Players is always a fun one. The top fives in all four majors. All the wins out here are special. Some guys make it look easier than others, but it's not an easy thing to do. So being able to remove yourself from current situation, and as a kid you just dreamed of playing on tour and ultimately winning. So to have done that 6 times, as a kid you'd be stoked. In current position, you want that to be more. So you have to be able to look at it both ways.
And then a follow-up, are you past the point to where, the things that aren't on your resume kind of gnaw at you, where you've learned to kind of be more at peace with whatever happens the next 10, 15, 20 years from now in your career?
Yeah, like I kind of mentioned, you always want more. But at the same time, you have to have the perspective and be able to look back as a kid, what we get to do and what I've done is pretty cool. But in the current situation, you want more. So, yeah, I still obviously love to play. Off weeks, I'm still playing a bunch, whether it's for fun or working towards getting back out on the road. And there's no better feeling than being in contention, having a chance to win, and then when you ultimately do end up the last guy standing and holding that trophy. So, the plan is to add some more to the win column, and I wouldn't mind getting one of the big ones. But at this point, I got to work on getting myself a tee time in the majors before I start thinking about that.
Go to Channel 12 next.
Hey, Rickie, I was just wondering, with all the TGL you've been playing, I know early on that the players seem to be kind of hitting the stride and getting used to the indoor thing with the big screen and all that stuff. Does it kind of work the other way as well, where you're in there, for how many matches you've played now, and when you come and play outdoor golf at a normal, that you're kind of adjusting your game a little bit the other way? Does it mess you up in any way when you're playing normal PGA tournament golf?
No, I don't think it messes you up. I feel like it can help in ways. I feel like in there, it can simplify it in a way as far as point and shoot, try and hit a straight one right where you're looking, instead of trying to hit certain shots or maybe get too cute. Just, a straight ball on there still goes straight. I know guys have talked about different curvature, and sometimes it doesn't feel like it matches up, but no, there's definitely been some benefits, I feel like, to it, and like you talked about, the play in there has gotten better, and I feel like it's just been guys being able to spend more and more time and get more and more comfortable with it. It's not real golf, but it's as close as you're going to get within a simulator setting, and some of it is kind of learning that game and how it works and what you need to do in there. There's some things that are a little different, obviously, chipping and different things, bunker play and putting on a synthetic surface, but at least we're all getting better in there. I think it's gotten to the point where it's a little more entertaining. At least I feel like people want to see good shots and putts made versus holes being won with pars a lot of times. So it's been great. I've had fun watching other teams play and us as players. I think universally it's all the guys are having a great time in there, and I think you can see that.
We'll go to Tom next.
You hope the putting translates from last week, right?
I mean, you're still trying to hit your lines and make putts, so it definitely does translate. It's just as you guys know, putting on synthetic versus on a real green, there's definitely some differences, but left edge putt is still left edge.
So, Rickie, for many years here, the winning scores, there were very few double digits under par. Last 4 years, it's been 13 or 14 under par has been the average. What is the difference in the course in the last 4 years?
Out here, a big thing is how firm the greens can get and what the wind's doing. Obviously the course is soft right now. Greens are still soft. Hopefully that'll, change throughout the week and dry out, but it's very much a a second shot or approach golf course. Obviously, there's plenty of water in play. There's a handful of key shots that can be the difference in maybe having a putt at birdie to walking away with double or potentially more. So it's a very penal golf course, and like I said, in those handful of key shots, it is a golf course. If you drive it well and control your golf ball, you can shoot some good numbers. But yeah, I've always loved this place because you don't necessarily have to go low or make a lot of birdies to win. If it stayed like it is right now and there's not much wind, you're going to see some lower scores. But typically wind is a factor down here, and when you're playing this golf course with such kind of fine margins of what a good shot is, and when you're grabbing another golf ball out of the bag, it's tough. But I've always enjoyed playing here from junior golf. Played I think once in a junior event. I've played this event quite a few times. I think it's a nice challenge.
We'll go back left, then Paul, and then Dave.
Rick, you clearly mentioned you've played here a lot. What would you make of the overseed around the greens and on the fairways? How is it going to make the course play different than the years past?
I think overseeded rough may play, if anything, easier than Bermuda rough. A little bit more control. You can sometimes get the ball to, fly a little bit softer, spin a little bit more from the rough. Bermuda rough, as you all know, just about anything can happen, especially when these greens get firm. It gets very hard to play to small sections. Hopefully it continues to dry out. At times with either Bermuda fairways or overseeded, you can get mud balls, and mud balls around this place are no fun either. But I would say coming into this week, it's probably the best condition I've seen the golf course leading into the tournament. So I think they've done a great job, and I know that's something they've been focusing on to continue to elevate the condition of the course, and not just for this week, but for the year round and everyone that plays here.
Paul with PGAtour.com.
Hey Rick, just equipment question for you. Just wondering how much involvement, if any, you had with Cobra's new driver line. Kind of any feedback you gave, or any stuff in the development process you were involved with.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty involved. I enjoy the testing and giving feedback, and I feel like I'm pretty good at giving kind of unbiased opinions as well as my personal opinions and what I feel or see. So yeah, I typically start anywhere from a year to year and a half out. Typically hitting prototype heads, probably about 6 months before we get them. So I think it's over the last, I would say with this line, it's probably been the earliest I've had access to that and being able to give feedback, and that's something that makes it easier for me and other players to work into new equipment. It can be tough when all of a sudden come late fall, it's like, here's the new driver, hopefully it's in the bag in January. So to be involved with that process, it's something I enjoy, not just with drivers but other equipment as well, with new irons, fairway woods, different things like that. So I know there's other players out there that don't like doing much testing or things like that. It's something I'm kind of a club geek as well, and it's fun. Like I said, I enjoy it. So I've seen our driver for next year already, and that's something that I would say probably have something hittable for me. Probably only in a couple to a few months, and start giving feedback and working on that stuff.
And just one random other one about the hosel, like how adjustable it can be. Just wondering if that's helped in your fitting process at all, getting into this specific driver.
Yeah, definitely. Now we have 33 different settings, and going from kind of being limited in what you can do loft and lie independently, now being able to have obviously a lot more options. I can't remember exactly where we're at, if it was 7-ish or something like that, but I think the biggest thing is being able to do loft and lie independently, like I mentioned. And I was in a little bit of a slightly upright setting starting the year. I've gone quite a bit flatter, and having the ability to do that it's great on driver, but also when you start going into, 3-wood, we also have a, 2-wood or 3-wood plus small driver. I think it's big, and it's not like you're using all 33 settings. Typically, you're living in some sort of quadrant, but it opens up just a lot more possibilities and stuff that you can test and see how it reacts to you.
Time for a few more. We'll go to Dave with Golf Week next, and then Brentley.
So sort of piggybacking off of a little bit of the core stuff, you're going from the California swing now being finished to the Florida swing here. You being from California, this is now home. How long did it take you to sort of get used to the grasses and the different challenges that these kind of golf courses can present as far as like dealing with Bermuda, dealing with rough? And can you sort of explain how that would work to people who maybe have never come down here? What are you trying to adjust to? What makes it as challenging as it is?
Yeah, I would say, luckily for me, I obviously got better and learned a bit more once I was living down here. But growing up, played a lot out in Palm Springs, and we get a lot of Bermuda out there. So I was exposed to multiple grasses from a young age, and then junior and amateur and college golf, you travel and you're playing on a bunch of different stuff as well. So I feel like I've been pretty well-rounded from a young age. But Bermuda. Tight, grainy Bermuda. There's a big difference in where that grass is laying, and it can make a very simple pitch shot, a completely different shot. And people that haven't played Bermuda and having the grass laying back into you and the ball sitting down a little bit, there's times you're just hoping you have a chance, or there's an option of being able to putt it. You don't want to mess with trying to clip it perfectly, but there's times where there might be a bunker in the way, and you just close your eyes and pray to God and hope that something comes out halfway decent. Because we deal with it a lot down here. It's part of it, but it's so lie dependent, and what shot you have in front of you. So this week you're not going to see much of that with it, overseeded everywhere except for the greens. You'll start to get into that. Bay Hill, you get some tight ones at Players, and now we're down here, this part of the country, and that's what you have.
Do you think, and just a really quick follow-up, do you think that living down here now year-round, that it's helped to improve your short game a little bit because it requires a lot more precision? Not that you can get away with more in other types of venues and other kind of setups, but there's less margin for error, it sounds like, down here, and if you're playing in that, you'd probably get a little bit sharper.
Yeah, I think it can go kind of either way. If you're struggling and this is all you're, trying to go dig it out of the dirt into the grain, it could go the wrong direction. But it's definitely going to let you know where your technique is at, and when you're chipping well down here, you go anywhere else and you have a lot of confidence. So yeah, it's definitely something. Any of the places around here, especially this time of year, are in great shape. Usually going to be pretty tight and hitting shots around the greens. If you're hitting them how you want here, you're going to have zero issues elsewhere.
Back to Brentley.
I'm sure you're aware of Luke Clanton, and
I've heard of him.
and the opportunity he has this week through the PGA Tour U, the Accelerated. He's a made cut away from a PGA Tour card. As someone who was basically Luke Clanton 16, 17 years ago, what goes through your head when you think about like these kind of pathways now for Luke Clanton to basically get his PGA Tour card while he's still in school?
It's great. I mean, he's still, in a way, he's earning his way out here. I don't think anyone's going to argue that he hasn't played some very good golf. It's been impressive to watch. It's been fun. It's in those situations. It's tough. I know, a bunch of people are asking him about it. He knows, what's at stake, and sometimes it's hard to remove that and just go play golf. But he's a great player. Whether it happens this week or not, he's going to be fine. He's shown that and proven it. So, no, I think, having Q School back as an option to the tour and other pathways, whether it's through PGA Tour U to, guys, coming off of DP. I think you're gonna see guys have success following, earning their way through all those platforms. I know there was talks of in past, the percentage or how many guys kept their cards after Q school and different things like that. I know trying to make that as high a percentage as possible, but between Q school and through Corn Ferry and these different avenues, guys are definitely earning their way. Like I said, it's nothing that's being given to them, and I've had fun watching Luke play. Like I said, he's earned it. He's played some really good golf, and hopefully he can get it done this week.
With that, we thank you, Rickie, for the time, and good luck this week.
Thank you.